What causes us to be afraid? Is it the dangers of life, like getting hit by lightning, or by just eating a random piece of moldy bread? Or is it the fear of the unknown, like that monster in your room during the night that always turns out to be the pile of clothes on the floor? It's a tricky question. You could describe fear as a potential danger to you and your body. But we don't only fear physical things. We can fear ideas, concepts, like the fear of asking that girl out, or the fear of asking your boss for a vacation, or even the fear that the moment of happiness you feel right now may never come back. These fears can be greater than those physical fears we have. So, then, what is fear? Well, Oxford defines it as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous. I feel that this is a better definition. Fear is a conscious awareness that you're in danger. But to truly understand what that means, we first have to understand how our brains perceive something as fearful. To start out, we don't have a part of our brain that is directly correlated to fear. What we use to spot fear is our defense circuits. The things that we do feel are created from aspects that are conscious, but by using a blueprint of non-consciousness that allows us to feel. For example, we know that if we were to jump off a cliff, we would probably die. We know this by the natural primal instinct of the fear of high places, something that is just part of our DNA, but also because we know that if we were to fall, our bodies would be crushed. But we get that conclusion from fear. A conscious decision made from subconscious blueprints. We can add to our subconscious blueprint of fear by gathering experiences. Since birth, we learn about facts of certain situations without even experiencing that situation firsthand. Stay away from sharp things, or never accept anything from strangers. We never had experiences with those things, but since you were taught to be wary of them, your brain would then view it as something fearful without even experiencing it. And throughout your life, you build a catalog of what to fear. As you do this, you gain more information about that fear, reinforcing that fear. The more you experience it, the more it starts to code as its consciousness, that it's cognitive. At this point, you haven't even had the actual emotion yet. Your body has just recognized the threat. You start to actually feel fear once your defense system is activated. There, your brain goes through its memories of that thing. After that, your arousal systems and your amygdala are activated with processing the information it just received. It does that so it can be more aware and more alert of your environment. So your attention is now focused on that thing that caused that fear. So with all the things I just mentioned, it all combines to create fear. But that fear sometimes controls us. That fear is unreasonable. For example, the sailor's scared to sail for the fear of the kraken, or that fear we feel presenting in front of people. This idea is perfectly summed up from a quote by Seneca that we suffer more, often in imagination, than in reality. But the way to beat that fear is by defining that fear. Define all the worst things you can imagine happening. Try to get very specific, using the example of presenting in front of people. The worst thing that can happen is that you pee your pants. Look, it happens. You would then think of what you could do to prevent, or what steps you can take to minimize the effects. Well, you could go to the bathroom right before you present, or just don't drink as much water before you present. But let's say, no matter how much you try, you cannot hold back the pee. You then think, if I have to repair the situation, even if just a little bit, you could bring an extra pair of pants, so you don't have to wear the same ones. You would do this for all your fears. By this, you'll be able to reach points in life that you would have never imagined getting to before. This is a process called fear setting. Fear setting helps us fight off that unrealistic fear to let us take control of our lives and live lives that are thrilling. As we live our lives, we get so overwhelmed by the monotonous tasks we have every day. The small things, such as taking out the trash, or the bigger ones, like turning in a project that you spent months on. Because of this, we often forget the cost of inaction. This cost is something that we can't see or measure. The same way how we cannot measure how much we have left to live, but is just as important. Not taking action slowly kills you. Economically, emotionally, physically. Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste death but once. Try to recall all those times where you wanted to take action, but never did. All those missed opportunities, all those missed paths of life. We miss so much from life just because we're too afraid to take action. In spite of that, we still go on and will continue not to take action. Don't let that be you. You should ask yourself, if I avoid this action or decision and actions and decisions like it, what might my life look like in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years? Moreover, the decision should become more and more obvious as you do these steps. By using these tools, your hard choices in life should start to become easier. By this, we are able to conquer fear, no longer held back by your doubts or thoughts, but led by them.